Horses perceive their environment from the perspective of a prey animal. Their bodies have been designed by natural selection to be a perfect set of tools to detect and deal with predators. First, let's talk about vision and depth perception. Horses' eyes are set on the sides of their head, limiting their binocular vision, which is where depth perception comes from. However, because of this eye positioning, a horse can very easily see all the way around its body using monocular vision, seeing out of either eye independently. They have a small blind spot directly in front of them and one directly behind them. While the depth perception is limited on the sides of the body, the important part is that they can see predators coming from all around them by just moving their head slightly. The main focus is being able to notice a predator in the distance and take action before it gets close enough to attack. They're able to see well in daylight and they can see better than us humans at night. However, their eyes take longer to adjust to changing light conditions than ours. As far as hearing goes, horses are able to hear very well and their ears articulate to be able to kind of funnel sound and orient themselves to its location. They're able to pick up frequencies that are well beyond our capabilities. Now, their sense of smell is extraordinary. They can smell blood from a freshly killed animal up to 2 miles away, and experiments have shown that they are able to detect different human emotions based on smell. As we can see, horses have an evolutionary design that allows them to perceive their environment that prepares them to be highly effective at evading predators. Now, when it comes time to take action against predators, their body design is brilliant. As we discussed earlier, they have long, powerful legs balancing on a single toe. Their hooves are hard and capable of providing traction through all kinds of terrain. Their reflexes are the fastest of all domesticated species. They are able to reach top speeds in just a few strides, and they can cover a lot of distance when bolting. Now, if bolting doesn't work, they are formidable when they decide to turn and fight. They are capable of charging and striking and biting and crushing, trampling, kicking, and bucking in order to defend themselves, and if cornered, they are willing to put it all on the line to escape danger. In addition to all these amazing physical attributes, the horse has an almost superpower ability to choose panic and run at the slightest hint of danger. Their genetic makeup is heavily selected to get out of dodge before everyone else. This combination of extreme athleticism, physical capabilities, and predisposition to choose panic and run makes them a successful prey animal, but a very dangerous domestic partner for us to try and ride. Let's take a look at how the design of the horse's body influences its movement. Looking at the horse from a top-down view, you'll see they look kind of like an oval with a long neck. You can divide the horse's body into 3 sections: the forequarters, which includes everything from the front legs forward, the rib cage in the center of the body, and the hindquarters, which includes everything from their flank backwards. These areas form pivot points, and the horse uses these sections of their body to perform athletic maneuvers. Having an understanding of the location of these body parts and how they move is critical when it comes to our training sessions. While nearly everywhere on a horse's body can be used to defend itself, there are some significant dangerous zones that we want to be aware of when we're working with horses. The area directly in front of a horse is difficult for them to see and is the most likely escape route for them to take if they get spooked from something behind them. Another area that most people are aware of is the area behind the horse. This is where their main weapons are located. Horses use their back feet in both defensive and offensive situations. They will turn their hind end to predators and kick with a ferociousness that is almost indescribable. They will also kick at a rival herd and even within their own herd to establish hierarchy positions and access to resources. They're capable of applying a staggering amount of force in their kicks. These 2 danger zones are major factors in the many ways that people get injured by their horses. Because horses are prey animals, they are very sensitive to being touched. Remember that their evolution leads them to believe that everything is going to try to eat them. So being touched by us is not a naturally positive thing for an untrained horse. Once they're habituated to us, it can become a positive thing, but unless there's training involved, horses don't want to be touched by predators like us. The same is true for our tools and the gear that we use to interact with our horses. Without training, our halters, lead ropes, saddles, blankets, boots, and all the other things that we get for our horses just feel like traps that they're caught in, limiting their ability to move. We can overcome these associations, but we have to realize that we are overcoming their entire biological imperative that they have of not getting eaten. Horses have something called oppositional reflex. Actually, all animals do. That is almost an unconscious response to something pushing or pulling on them. They will instinctively do the opposite of what is being done to them. If they're being pushed, instead of going with the movement, they will push back in the opposite direction. If something is pulling them, they will pull back in the opposite direction. This can get very dangerous very quickly when we pair this oppositional reflex response with the assumption they have that everything is a trap and they're about to be eaten. We often see this combination cause accidents when we tie our horses up. If they are hard tied, please don't do this. They take a step back and feel the pressure of the halter behind their heads. They are likely to pull back on it to create the opposite effect. If they're not able to get slack in the rope, they will panic and pull harder, thinking that they are trapped. This leads to a horse that is now scrambling in panic and is a disaster. Gaining some understanding about how horses perceive their environment can give us the ability that we need to be able to predict their behavior. If we can predict how they will behave in a certain situation and how they will move within it, we can begin to use these principles in our training.